Hey, so, a lot of you guys know what's going on with Aaron and his family, and Jonathan Hunt, and just keep praying. We're still hoping things turn around. Maybe you saw the video. If you didn't find it, it's labeled Jonathan Hunt, and just be praying for him so you know what's going on. But, it's just as I've been going through this last couple days with Aaron, and we're just walking through this challenging situation with his family. There's just something that keeps coming back to my mind, and it's one of my all-time favorite verses, and hands down my favorite quote of all time. And I just wanted to share it with you guys, for Aaron, for you. If you see this before we get to see each other again, hopefully this will give you some strength. And for anybody that may be going through a hard time or has, or we're all going to go through it in the future if we haven't yet. And so just something to give us strength in that. In the Bible, in Daniel 3, verse 16 through 18 is where I'm going to quote from. But there's the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And it's these three guys who were forced to, culture was trying to require them to bow down to something other than God. And what had happened is this king that was oppressing the Israelites at the time had created this huge statue and said, you need to bow down to this statue, otherwise I'm going to throw you in fire. I know we're all reading it like, that's so stupid. Why would you bow down to a statue? Why would you get thrown in fire if you don't? Back then when they didn't understand things, everything was a god, and it was just, it was weird. So, you don't look at the practicalities of it, but the situation was that. It's no different than now. Our culture, whether we have King Nebuchadnezzar or J-Lo, our culture is telling us to bow down to all of these other things. And same thing happened. King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon said, listen, everybody bows to this idol or everyone gets thrown in the fire. You pick. It's either compromise your faith or die. And I love the statement that they give. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, this is verse 16. This is their response. Just thinking about it gets me fired up. It says, O King Nebuchadnezzar, we don't need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we're thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to save us from it. And he'll rescue us from your hand, King. But even if he doesn't, we want you to know that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. Seriously, one of the most, that quote, it just, our God's able to deliver us from the fire, but even if he doesn't, we're not going to bow to your freaking idol. And that's obviously my version of it, but just such a powerful, there's two things they're saying in this statement. Number one, they have a statement of faith. Our God is so stinking big. I don't care how powerful you are, King. I don't care how strong this culture is. God's going to save us from it. I don't care how hot that furnace is. It doesn't matter because our God's too big for your stinking furnace. And then in verse 18, but even if he doesn't, are you listening, King? And I love it. It says, but even if he doesn't, we want you to know, O King. Even if he doesn't, we got a message for you. We're never going to worship your gods, and we're never going to bow to your stinking image of gold. Whoa. Like, these guys are facing death. Literally, in the entire kingdom, they're the only three that stood. And they have the stuff to look at this king and say, we're not going to bow. Our God can save us. And even if he doesn't, it doesn't matter. That doesn't change a stinking thing. We're still standing right here where we're at until God takes us from here. Or you realize our God's bigger than your stupid statue. I don't know where you're at, but I know where they were. And I know where our God is. And then even in the midst of problems and situations and things that don't make sense, if we, number one, pray a prayer of great faith to a great God, knowing that he can deliver you from your fire, but also then leaving room to say, but even if he doesn't, I'm not going to bow anyways. I'm not going to doubt. I'm not going to have disbelief. I'm still going to have faith. I'm still going to stand strong. You can't move me from this spot that I'm standing. You can't remove me from this place before God. I'll not bow to this culture. I'll not bow to an image. I'll not bow to doubt. I'll not bow to anybody, anything, any thought, any idea. No matter what it is. So today, let's pray prayers of great faith, saying God is able to deliver us and do what we need. He's going to act favorably on our behalf. And even if he doesn't, though, I trust him so much that if the outcome's not how I wanted it, the way I wanted it, when I wanted it, and where I wanted it, I'm still going to trust that he's God, and I'm still going to be immovable from this place.